All right. I recently did a series on my blog, an email newsletter with getting set up um, with Ollama to do local AI coding. So I figured I'm just gonna put this together, do kind of a quick speed run of setting up the same uh, type of system, but put it up on YouTube that way you can see it kind of happening live. So what I've done here is I've created a Rails new, and there's nothing in here. Besides that, so just kind of getting the system up and running. What I am going to want to do is I want to do a bundle add Ollama, what is it called? Ollama AI. And this is just a tiny wrapper just to give us a better interface for connecting with Ollama. So if I actually go in here now and do a Rails C to bring up the system, and over here I do Ollama serve to start up a server. This lets me easily enough go in and let me just check my notes. I can do create a new client with Ollama AI to connect to that port, and then I can do something like this where I'm generating, asking it to generate a response. I'm using Ollama 3. I'm not going to be streaming it, so it's going to give it to me back as one big block. And if I say, "What's up, doc?" it's going to say, "Not much, just a chatbot." Staying up on the latest cartoon references. All right, great. That means everything's working. So if we hop back into here, we're actually going to want to make an update. So our proc file is basically all the processes that spin up when we start up our system. So we're going to actually add in here Ollama serve. So this is going to actually set up the spin up the Ollama server whenever we start up our apps. Now if I go bin dev, this is going to bring up the entire Rails stack, and we can also see, yep, AI showing up here. So we can see that AI is being spun up as well. So now if I go to our browser, we can load it, and we're up and running. Great. All right, so the next thing we're going to want to be doing with that working, we're going to want to actually create the ability to have a conversation. So with that, we're going to be having two parts. So here we're just going to do a Rails, Rails, I can type, Rails G scaffold, and we're going to have a conversation. And the conversation is going to have a title, and that's it for now. Conversations are also going to be made up of messages. So we're going to Rails G the model for that, and a message, and this is going to have conversation, which it references. And we also want to have a role, so this is whether it's the user or the AI who are speaking, and that's going to be a string, and then the message, which is going to be text. So we'll do that, and we will Rails DB migrate and get that up and running. So if we come back over to the browser, we can go conversations, and if I can create a new conversation, and the title is going to be my title, and I am going to, yeah, so we're good here. Okay, so with this, when we view the conversation, so if I go in here to show, in here we're going to want to, let's just get rid of some of this stuff. And we're actually going to not render the conversation. We're just going to go in here, and we're going to do a div, and we're using Tailwind on this. So we're going to just space things out. We're going to go class space y, I don't know, 4. And we're going to want to render out the messages form, and this is going to be on a message. We're going to do the conversation dot messages, And we'll just build out a new message each time. So we'll leave that there, like that. This is now going to yell at us. Yep, messages. And we're going to want to add that reference. So our message already belongs to a conversation, and our conversation is going to has many messages. And then now it's going to complain that we don't have that message partial, which of course we don't. So we'll go to messages, and we're going to make a new form.html.erb. And in here we're going to do form with, and this is going to be going to the message dot conversation and message. All right. So in here we're going to do just a div. We're going to say we're going to do form dot text field, and what do we call you? We called you views conversation. So a message has a message. Okay. So actually let's make a text area, or rext area. We'll make that a text area, and that's going to be message. And submit that. All right. And that's giving us a complaint because, is it saying rendering template? Is this complaining? Okay, we don't have the, sorry, message conference. That's not app message, that's just message. And unexpected : form with model. Beautiful. And now we're getting the conversation message path, of course. So conversations do, and we're going to do resources, messages, and this can only be created. Beautiful. We're also seeing that all of the forms are being reset. So we'll do the text area, and we'll just do add apply border. I think that should be enough. Yep. Cool. And we'll do input type equals submit. And yeah, we could put the classes on this, but we'll just do this for now. Beautiful. All right. So we've got a message, and that's going to be going through. So let's go in and make the controller for it. So if we go in here, the controllers, new file, messages. So in here, all right, so in here we're going to have a conversation. Conversation equals conversation.find params. And I can't type today. Apologize. Conversation ID. Message equals conversation dot messages dot, and we will build this. And so in here, actually, I'm not gonna use strong params. We only have one parameter, so it kind of seems like overkill. What I'm gonna just do is I'm gonna actually role is, and I'm thinking, we're trying to remember what it is, user. So this means that the user submitted the message, and the message is params message message. All right, and we're going to do message.save, and we're going to redirect back to the conversation. So I'm not doing any error handling in here. It's not very complicated, so I don't think it's really necessary at this point. But yeah, we'll just do that. One thing that I didn't mention during the setup is I'm using SQLite for a lot of this, just because it's quicker and easier for a demo application. All right, so if I go in here and I can go hello world and create that message, redirect to might help. All right, conversations 1. Hello again. Let's see if that works. All right, we didn't get an error, so that presumably means it's working. So if I hop back into the conversations show, we have our form here, and then we're going to want to render out. So we're going to do a partial of the. We'll just render out the at conversation dot messages. And now it's in yellow, but messages missing. Yep. So in our messages, we're going to make that new partial. And for here, we're just going to do a tag.div. We'll give an ID of the DOM ID of the message. And in here, we're going to just spit out the, let's put a span tag with the message dot role. And we'll give this a class of font semi-bold. And then after that, we will spit out the message.message. So we've got hello world, hello again. And actually, let's change that. So let's close that up. Let's change this. So we're going to reverse the order. Sorry, that's not in there. That's going to be in the show. So messages dot order. We're going to do that as created at descending. Great. Okay, so that looks good. So at this point, we are getting the messages, we're submitting them, we're saving them. So that's good. All right, so what's up next is that we actually want to save off that. We actually want to get the AI to update that. So if we go back into the messages controller, we're saving the message, then we're redirecting. So let's actually just do it in here. Quick and dirty, we're going to say update thread. And if we go into our model, in here, what are we going to want to do? So from before, we wanted to be able to grab the client and do client dot. So in this case, we want to do it a little bit different. So to update our thread, what we're going to need to do is we have to get all of the messages and pull out the information with them. And for that, we actually just be able to turn that. Well, so here, I'll pull this over. So we're getting our messages, we're ordering it by when it was created as opposed to descending where it was created, and we are just going to grab the role and the content for it. And then we're going to want to get a response from our AI system, so that we're going to be doing a chat. So with this, we're not streaming it. So it means that we're actually going to get a long delay in between. we're saying the model we're going to use. This could be Ollama 3 or this could be DeepSeek or whatever. And we're passing in the messages. We're also waiting around and we're just going to get the whole entire first message, grab the whole message out from it. And we want to actually persist that into this conversation. So we're going to go and create another message. And if with this, this is going to be the assistant and the content is the responses content. So that's what this is going to look like. And the only thing that's missing from this is that we don't have that client. So let's do a private. We might want access to this. I don't know. So we'll go client, and in here we're gonna do. I'm gonna pull that same thing I pulled in before. We want to store this because we're possibly going to use it multiple times. So we're just going to be hitting that local server. Let's see if that works. I'm expecting this should spin for a moment. And I renamed that to be a little more explicit. All right. Let's try that again. And it's taking longer, which is a good sign. All right, so now we're getting the assistant giving us some details. Perfect. Okay, so that is actually our first kind of initial interaction. So that's good. All right, let me go to my blog post and let's see what the next thing is. And you're not letting me close. Interesting. Okay, so this takes a while to load, which is kind of annoying. So let's actually push that into a background job. That way it doesn't stop me from loading the page. So to do that, we're going to instead in the message controller, instead of directly here trying to hit that, we are going to move that into a background job. So we're going to do a update conversation job and have that perform later. If we go down to our jobs, we can create a new update conversation job. And this is just going to be class update conversation job. And that's going to be extending application job. Nothing really crazy going on here. But we are just going to be moving that conversation update call over here. And that was update thread. Okay. I believe that should be good. So now I can go in here and be like, let's say, tell me more. And if I reload, it instantly loads a thing, which is great. That process should be going around in the background. And if I refresh the page, I see nothing. What's going on? Let's see if there's an exception. Beautiful, there is. What's on there? Update conversation, update thread for an instant conversation. What is it? Oh, update thread. That would do it. All right, let's try that again. So this instantly goes, and if I refresh the page, there we go. Okay, so we're not automatically updating the page, but we are running that in the background. So that's good. All right. What's up next? So if we hop back into the show, we do want this to load automatically. So let's actually do a couple of things here with Turbo. So I can go in here and I can give an ID. That way we can reference it. We'll call this messages. And what I'm actually going to do is move this up and out. That way we're not stepping on top of it. And I'm also going to go in here and I'm going to say that we're going to be streaming. So With the Turbo Stream, we say what's the name of the channel that we want to be connected to. So we could do something where we're connected to every single message, but that means there's a bunch of channels that we'll be connected to. We actually just want to connect to the conversation itself. So we'll do that. So if I load the page, this should really not have anything different. Beautiful. So we're good there. Now what we do want to do is hop into the messages model. And with the message model, we're going to want to broadcast broadcasts to the conversation. And this is going to, whenever we create, update, or delete things, it's going to send out that message. But what I want to do is actually want to have this. So this is going to be added to the, this is going to ultimately be added to the messages div. It's going to be appended to it. But actually what I want to be doing, because it's reverse chronological, I want to be prepend, not append. So I'm going to do inserts by prepend. Okay. So if everything's good, we can say, let's refresh the page, make sure that's loaded. When we're streaming from stuff, I go, yes, we are having fun. Let's see if this works automatically. Hey, there it goes. So this now automatically loading without needing to do anything. All right. So that works well. The next thing we want to be doing is be able to stream some of these things in here. So if I say, so if I did something where it is going to have a longer response, it's going to take a while. So what I actually want to do is, if I go into the conversations where I'm updating it, we're going to do a couple things. So one, we've already got the credentials, but I'm going to add an additional option, which is the options, and I'm going to say server sent event is true. And in here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to break this up a little bit. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to grab this create, and I'm going to push it up here. I'm going to say message equals messages.create, and I'm going to say the message is blank. In here, I don't need this response anymore. I'm going to change this to be true. So that's going to stream in the responses. So I'm actually going to, instead of getting having it like that, I'm going to go in here and go do event, and we're not using the second parameter. What I'm going to do is response dot message plus equals event message content. So this is going to be building up the whole message as we go along. And then if I do response.save, this will save in that response. So what's nice is that, this is going to be message.message and then message.save. So what's nice is we're going to create this message right away, so it's going to post that, and that's going to show up on the page. And then we're going to be incrementally updating the message on this. Because of our broadcast, that's going to be broadcasting those updates, and because we're putting the DOM ID into the message with this here, it's going to connect that in, so it's going to stream those updates in if we've done everything right. So let's refresh this, and I go, can you tell me a bedtime story? And let's see if this streams in. And it's not, so let's see if I made another typo somewhere. Response, did I not clean all those up? Line 11. Oh, Let's do this properly. So this actually is going to be assistant. So we'll take care of that. We're not getting a response to set that automatically. Okay, let's go and try this again. And we'll be polite. Maybe that will make it all work. Hey, there we go. So we can see that this is doing stuff in the background, and there's a whole broadcast happening. It's happening for like, it's very, very wordy. We want to be probably doing something where we can add a little bit of throttling to that or something. But okay, so that looks good. Now let's actually do one last little thing. If I remember correctly, this can be simple format. Let's see if that looks a little better. It does. There we go. All right. So that gives us a little bit nicer layout for that. And this, yeah, this is basically working with Ollama and setting up our system. So with this, we've got our conversation with our messages, and we stream them in, and all of that is automatically loaded using turbo streams to make it all work right. So there you go. That is a simple little getting started with Ollama and your own local AI. Take care.